morning. My house is a mess. I'm waiting for my sister. She should be here soon. And what I was saying, we're gonna go look at this place that she wants to have my shower at, and I guess pick a date. I don't know what's going on. She just asked me to go with her, so I'm like, okay. And we're gonna eat there because it's like a restaurant, but they do weddings and stuff too. So anyways, when I get back, I have a ton of dishes to do, and I'm so tired of like working around all this stuff that's from the buffet all over the kitchen. It's making me crazy to have stuff all over the counters that I can't move. So that's happening. I like this. I like the chairs in here.
They're cute.
Yeah.
I like the benches.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Little benches on the side. So like you and just.
Okay, so I'm home. I inserted that little video of the party room at this place. They do like weddings and stuff there too. That's the room we're gonna go with for my shower. And my sister talked to the event coordinator and all that stuff. So I thought it was a really pretty room. And I had seen these invitations. She kept asking me, oh, Lee, what kind of theme do you want? Do you want it to be space? I'm like, you know, it doesn't need to be space. That's just this nursery. And like, you know, I buy them cute space stuff, but you know, space theme, I'm already finding it's very hard to do with just a nursery. You have to do a lot of stuff yourself, and you know, which is fine because I like things that are unique. But anyways, so the theme she ended up actually going with was like travel and adventure, which I like because we Up is like, every time somebody sees Up, they're always like, I don't know, it just reminded me of you and Justin in the beginning. Like, hope to God I don't die soon. But, you know, like, we've been together since we were young, and we're both complete opposites. He's very much like Carl. Like, he is grumpy usually, and he's quiet, and I'm very much outgoing. And when we started dating, it was a lot of me like, you know, we're doing this and this and that. And, you know, so like a lot of people like, are always like, oh, y'all are kind of like the Up people. And we love that movie. It always makes us cry. So my sister came up with a guest book. An artist is drawing the Up house, and then everyone's fingerprint will be a balloon, like, and then they sign it, which I thought was really cute. But I had seen some invitations that were like, The Great Adventure Begins or something, which was really cute because all of our travel scrapbooks are like an adventure theme, kind of like because of Up. So yeah, that's my shower's not gonna be like Up theme, but it is kind of like an adventure and travel, and like I think on the sign thing she's doing, or the guest book artwork she's doing, that it's gonna have everyone's fingerprint, says like Jackson Byron and our last name, and it says our greatest adventure yet or something like that. It's really cute. It's gonna be really cute. So I think that room is like really perfect for it. She's really going all out, so I'm kind of like really excited. And then my mother-in-law and sister-in-law are doing a shower for me, and I'm super excited about that too. So it was an exciting day. But while I have energy, I'm like, did he just find some kind of bug? Oh God. I better do some picking up down here. And I don't know what Ralph's doing out there. I think a bug just scared him. He's allergic to bees and wasps like I am. So when he goes outside and they start coming back, I have to check and make sure he's okay all the time. So I was just cooking. What is going on up here? I feel like every day I'm like, what's happening with my makeup? I was just cooking dog food. Just making their veggies for the week, because I like to make sure that they have like lots of colorful veggies with their regular dog food and stuff. Just because it's good to get them antioxidants and stuff like that usually like help us. They help your dog too. You just have to be careful that they're safe vegetables and occasionally fruits, but not too often because of the sugar content. But anyway, so I don't know what this is. I developed a pimple. That's annoying. I wanted to talk about, there's something I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about SIDS in my nursery tour, just because it's something it's not going to be me preaching, you know? I'm just going to simply share something because I feel like a lot of pregnant women watch nursery tours, people that plan on becoming pregnant. And there's something that's very important to me that it's just like, I want people to, I'm an advocate for people feeling like, don't let other people tell you what's best for your baby if you feel like something's better. And I'm going to explain that in a second. First off, I'm probably going to title this Annoying People When You're Pregnant or something. I am so tired of getting, like, not into it, but trying to hold my tongue for these people like that, like friends and people like that, they can't just accept this is what I'm doing. They need to give their advice. And like, I'm one of those people, like, unless I asked for your advice, I don't really want it. And I'm very cautious with my advice. But people are going to give advice, and that's fine. What's annoying is, for example, and this is a whole nother, like, I understand people are like, they want to help, and they're like, I have all this baby stuff, and that's great. Like, I've had a lot of people give me clothes and stuff like that were their kids, and I'm like, that's great. But there comes a point where I'm like, okay, he already has a bunch of clothes I got. He's going to get a bunch of clothes at his shower, and like everyday family and friends are like, look what I got him. And I'm like, that's awesome. So there's a limit on, like, to the point where I'm like, I can't really accept any more clothes and stuff, because then I feel like the stuff that people have given him as a gift isn't going to get used, which was a gift for him versus somebody's old baby clothes. And I'm not opposed to, I went to Goodwill and bought jeans for him. But it's just like, it's like I'm having to tell people now, like, please, I don't need, like, if people buy him clothes as a gift, then that's fine with me, But people trying to give me all their kids' old clothes is just a little overwhelming, because then I feel like people that have bought him stuff as a gift, I'd rather him wear that because somebody bought it specifically for him and it was special, and that way I know it will get used. So that's been like, not annoying, but it's just been like to the point where it's like, I know people want to be helpful, but sometimes it feels like people just want to get rid of this shit. So they're just trying to dump it on you. And that's a little frustrating. And the same thing's happening with their old baby stuff. Like, here is my old playpen, my like 7-year-old playpen. And here is their old bedding. And it's like, I already have his nursery planned out. We'll get to the bedding thing in a second, but like, I kind of already have his nursery planned out. I registered for the playpen I want. I don't think it's wrong to be like, no, I don't want your old playpen, because even if I don't get it, I'm going to go buy the one I picked because of the safety of it. And I feel comfortable as somebody who is certified in SIDS education with the playpen I picked. So, yeah, I might touch on this in my nursery tour when I show you guys the bedding. But, just because here's what happens. I'll explain exactly what happened. So this has happened several times. This isn't just one person. Several people have been like, do you want such and such, their kids' old bedding? It has the bumpers and all this stuff. And I just say, no, thank you. He is not going to have anything in his crib but his crib sheet. Well, I get all these moms, and I've also heard, you hear this a lot from older people. They utter the words, my baby had bumper. It's like all of a sudden they're friggin' offended. Like, all I simply say is he's not going to have anything but a sheet. And they're like, my baby's had bumpers. And they go on the defense and they're like, nothing happened to my babies and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's great. Did I say you did something wrong with your babies? No, but I'm going to do with my child what I want to do. And plenty of my friends right now that are pregnant go and put bumpers on stuff. And I don't say a damn thing to them, like, at all. Even though I have the training and stuff I do and certifications, and I am certified to actually teach classes at schools that have nurseries and are high SIDS risks, like teach the teachers. Like, but I don't sit there and say, oh no, don't put that bumper in his crib. If people ask me, hey, I know you have the SIDS certification, can you give me any tips? Or if it's like a good friend, I'll be like, hey, if you have any SIDS questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And I leave it at that. I don't tell them what to do. I don't understand why people think they have the right to tell me what I need to do, or that their baby is fine. Like, okay, your baby survived bumpers. That's great. But you should not go around telling people that just because your child was fine, that they should, I'm getting like angry, that they should do that too. Because here's the truth. And I'm going to tell you guys a story, and it haunts me to this day. So one of my jobs at one of the schools I worked at, because I was the only one certified in SIDS, was to teach teachers, and I would go teach other schools too if I needed to. I had the certification, but to teach the teachers, but also to talk to parents about, like, that had issues that came in the baby room, about why things were the way they were. Because it's not just the school, it's the state law that cribs and daycares and like stuff like that can have nothing in it but a crib sheet. No bumpers, no blankets, no stuffed animals, and that is because of SIDS. So my job was, when the school had to kind of explain that to parents, had difficulty with it, I would go in there and talk to them. And this is basically what I tell them. SIDS can just happen. You can do all these things to prevent, and it can still happen. That happens all the time. But ever since, they have found out these guidelines of things that make it safer, the number of children dying from SIDS has gone down so much. And there are simple things like they need to sleep on their back. Sleeping with a passy also helps. No blankets, nothing, no bumpers. And the thing is, like, by law, cribs are designed to where their heads can't go through the railing. Like, literally all that can happen is their arm can go in there and they wake up crying. Like it happened all the time to school, but nobody ever broke their arm or was seriously injured. You just went in there when they were big enough to roll. If they happened to like get scared because they woke up and their arm was in there, half the time, by the time you get to them, they pulled it out, their arm or their leg, but it just scared them, and nothing came of it and nothing happened. So, I mean, like, literally the arguments for needing bumpers is usually that. And it's like, but again, it's not my place to decide what people do with their kids, just like it's not their business what I do with mine. So there was this one mom who started screaming at me and cursing at me, and she was like, this room is so cold, I want bumpers in his crib. What if his hands get stuck? I was like, if his arm gets stuck, once he starts moving, he will usually pull it out. If he has like some extremely chubby little leg and it gets stuck, which happened with like one kid that was like a baby sumo wrestler. He was like, we called him like Michelin baby. His parents called him that too. He was just huge. Like, his little chubby thigh got stuck in there, like to where he couldn't pull it out because he wasn't strong enough. I just went over there and like pulled it out for him. He was fine. But I reassured her, like, I've never seen an injury due to like their arm going through or their leg or something. So I told her, I was like, it's not an option. You can sit here and yell at me. You can argue with me, but this is like the state licensing law. They can't have anything in there. And that's just the end of the discussion. I was like, any school you go to is going to be the same way. So she's yelling at me. She's like, he is my fourth baby. All three of my other babies had bumpers. Nothing happened to them. Nobody did da. And I try to explain to her, there's several reasons. There's actually a lot of countries that have like outlawed selling bumpers. That, like, you would have to make your own to use them basically in these certain countries. But I said, it's not just them getting smothered. Even when they're not able to move, it is an airflow restriction, which is an issue with SIDS as well, making sure they get plenty of airflow. And I was like, that's fantastic. Your kids were okay and you can do what you're going to do at home. She's like, oh yeah, he's got bumpers at home. And I was like, but at the school, this is just how it is. I just ended it with like, you can argue and scream at me and curse at me as much as you want, but it's not going to change the law. So she got all huffy. She let it go. Her kids started going there. Because all her kids had started at like 2 or something at the school. So this is her first like little tiny baby. So, I mean, I feel like she didn't start him till he was like 4 months. He was able to roll at the time when she started him. I don't remember. It was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Anyways, so she has him at home with the bumpers. About 2 weeks after this argument, all of a sudden, like, none of the kids came to school. and they didn't come for like a week or so, like none of them. So the office called to check and be like, hey, is everything okay? Are the kids okay? The baby had rolled into the bumper in the middle of the night with its face and suffocated. And it died of SIDS from bumper. Like, I mean, like, I honestly, it haunts me to this day how awful. Like, I hope she doesn't blame herself, because I don't know how you would live with that. But it haunts me that I literally was just warning her of that, of airflow. And so my point to all this is, don't let older people, your parents, your grandparents, other moms who used bumpers and their baby was fine, put blankets in there and their baby was fine. I've also got other SIDS stories from, other stuff that has happened. And then there's babies that just die of SIDS and there's nothing that could have been done. But my point is, if you feel like you don't want to do that, like I'm not doing it, don't let people bully you into feeling like you're stupid or that's dumb because their kids were fine. I don't understand people's opinions that just because it was okay for my kids, it should be okay for yours. Just because statistically nothing happened to my kid, it guarantees nothing happens to yours. So it's just like, I'm a big advocate for, don't let people bully you into things you don't want or make you feel dumb. Like, if you don't want to put anything but a crib sheet in your baby's crib, that's nobody's goddamn business. And that's just the way it is. Like, I wonder if his mobile's here. This is going to be a long vlog. I think it is. Hold on. It was like just a FedEx truck. I'm waiting for UPS. Don't let people bully you into it. Do what you're going to do with your kid, whatever it is. But especially if you're somebody that's choosing to be safe about it or what you feel is safe and right. Don't let these people that are, my kid was okay, so yours will be, make you feel like dumb or that you have to do something, and a lot of people are like, oh, they make mesh bumpers now. Yeah, they make mesh bumpers. They do. They still do restrict some airflow, which is still an issue, and that is why it has not been deemed SIDS safe. We won't be using them. They're just not necessary. They don't need bumpers, really, and that's our choice. But, like, yes, there are mesh bumpers, so if you really feel like if their face gets smushed up on it, they will still be able to get some air. So that's an option if you really still want bumpers. But if you are like me and you're like, there's nothing, because there's just, you don't know, you're just going to do nothing like it's recommended, then just don't let people bully you. That's my whole point of this long rant. I don't know. It just pisses me off that people think they need to tell me what I need to do. And it makes me laugh too, because like, I've had so much experience with babies, toddlers, and kids. Like, I think people forget that they used to come to me, like, especially when I was still working at the school and they remembered that I had this experience, that they used to come to me asking me what to do. And now they're trying to tell me what I need to do. And I'm going to end up blowing up on somebody, but it's just important for me that whatever you're going to do, people need to butt out and mind their own business. And this is coming from somebody that is certified in SIDS instruction and education. I don't sit there and even tell my friends what to do. They're going to make the choice they make. And if they ask for my advice, then I'll give it. But I feel like people need to be like that with all stuff when it comes to someone else's kid. Like, it's just not your fucking business. Like, that's the way I look at it. So I just got so irritated with somebody who got into me with it about that again, that I just I should vlog about this, because now I'm mad and I just don't want, I feel like first time moms get thrown all this advice and it's all different, and you make decisions that you want to make for your baby, and all of a sudden people are telling you they're wrong, and it's just none of their business. But yeah, so that's my whole rant. It's funny because the person also tried to argue with me. They make breathable blankets now too. And I think there's a misconception. People see those breathable blankets, and the breathable blankets are for swaddling. Like when you have them swaddled, like in the, bassinet, or when they're napping and stuff. And that's so that they don't get overheated. which can also be a SIDS issue as well. It's to keep them from getting overheated and keep them cool and wet wicking, but it doesn't mean that it's safe if you put it with their crib in them when they're moving around, that it can't restrict airflow and cause SIDS. Like, that does not mean it's safe. Also, another misconception is people think like, oh, after the first few months, I don't have to worry. Like, it can happen up to a year. Like, it's just, anyways. So yeah, I can't even with people. So yeah, I'm gonna take a nap now because I'm like so irritated. I just thought of one more thing before I actually nap. And Justin and I overheard this when I was registering. You guys might have seen the little thing that goes on the baby's foot to monitor its breathing and all that stuff. I heard this lady say when she saw it, I guess they had it. I didn't see it in Toys R Us, but I don't know why she was like on the other aisle. She's like, oh, this is so cool. She's like, don't have to worry about bumpers or anything anymore. A lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about those like monitors and those like Owlet, I think it's called. I don't know. For instance, I think somebody at one point told me if you're worried about SIDS, just get one of them. It's better to prevent because there's no guarantee if your child stops breathing at SIDS that even though you're monitoring them, you can like, there's a big misconception that like, oh, they stopped breathing, I'll just give them CPR. There's no guarantee that CPR will restart their breathing or anything like that. So it's better, like, if you want to have those, that's fine, get one, but don't think it's, you don't have to worry about the other stuff anymore, because there's absolutely no guarantee you will get your child breathing again once they stop or once they pass the SIDS. So that's one thing that kind of irritates me about that owl thing. It's giving people like the Owlet or like those little foot monitors. It's giving people this big misconception that, oh, it's okay because they're being monitored and I'll know if something happens. You only know when something happens. And once it happens, there's no guarantee to restart breathing or revive them. So that's just another thing that kind of irritated me when I heard that. I had to like clench my teeth, like don't go over there and be a nosy ass, just like be quiet. Because I'm like person, like, I'm not going to tell anyone how to live their life, what they need to do, and they need to like mind their own business about mine too. But I just thought of that too. Like, that's another thing that irritates me, is that's like a huge misconception that you don't have to worry because they're wearing that. So you can just do whatever. They won't, it's not in their marketing to warn you that your baby could not be revived. Just because they're wearing that doesn't mean they'll survive it. So I feel like marketing of that has made people feel like they don't have to safeguard stuff against SIDS. So just thought that I'm really gonna nap now because I think it calmed down some. I was gonna end the vlog, but I just realized I didn't tell them. I know you're getting annoyed with this movie.
On 3.
Go. What? You've only... The new mobile came. It's not as busted as the other two, but the ring is still sliding. And I saw on this one the glue they use to like, they lightly glue the ring in place, and it's just not, it's like it doesn't stick. It just doesn't stay. So we're trying to decide now. This is the least busted, and if Justin re-glues the ring, it's just the prongs slide, so the rings slide. If Justin tries to glue it in place, it'll be safe, but I expected so much more from Pottery Barn.
Especially for that price.
Like, I'm a cheap person. I'm a very cheap person. You guys know that. And for me to spend $60 on something that just dangles on the ceiling is a lot. So I expect a lot. But the problem is, there's not really any other options out there for it. The ones I saw, like glow-in-the-dark ones, and they all had horrible reviews. And there's a Smithsonian one, but it's really dark and it won't show with his wall. So it's like this or nothing. And Justin's like, well, we can try to make it. I'm like, we still have to paint the mural, paint the room, do all these things that we have to make his art pieces for the room. It's like, I don't want another thing to make. So I think we'll try to make this work. And I'm just going to let Justin glue it somehow. I mean, you think you can?
Try it. It's the worst that could happen.
I didn't even see where the sun was on this.
This is kind of made me realize something.
What? You're in the wrong business?
I'm definitely in the wrong business.
I
I
know.
could make these and sell them on Etsy and make a killing.
I think it's a little harder than we assume.
I mean, look at the painting on this though. It's
But
just
I'm like
horrible.
the sun, the way it's textured and stuff.
Okay, yeah, that one looks really cool. The rest of them just look like crap.
Well, you're making me feel bad now about my purchase.
I'm not trying to make you feel bad.
I just
I'm
don't want
saying.
another thing we have to make. Like, I don't. Like, we have too much shit to make. We're halfway through this pregnancy.
All I'm saying is, if the glue doesn't work, I think this needs to go back.
Well, yeah, if you can't glue it in place, then we'll send it back. I'm so tired of this fucking mobile. I've got anxiety now about his lampshade that's coming. But, like, he's going to have to try to fix it tonight, and we'll tell you tomorrow if we send it back or not. But, I don't know. I don't know. I just think they could have figured out a better way to glue it, and it would have been fine. But I'm going to end the vlog because I bitched a lot today and ranted. And this is just ending on a rant. So let's look forward to a better, more positive day tomorrow. Bye. I just said bye, but I'm saying hi again.
Hi.
The decision has been...
Sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead.
One more.
Yeah. It's all gravy. The decision has been made to send this back. I am over this completely. I decided dinner, like, I paid $60 frickin' dollars. You're fucking Pottery Barn. You're like snobby Pottery Barn. Like, I couldn't even register there for my wedding because I knew like nobody would buy me shit from there. You know, you just like you want to be snobby with your big expensive prices, and then you send this like janky piece of crap mobile. Justin's like, if this had been like a $20 mobile, I'd been like, fine, I'll fix it. But it's just like, yeah, it's not acceptable. I'm done. We're just gonna have to figure out how to make it ourselves or find something else. It's upsetting to me because I had his room planned out in my brain, and and everyone's like, well, you can't plan stuff, you know, nothing's gonna be perfect. But my personality is like, once I plan how something's gonna go, it needs to go that way, or I will make it happen because that's what I envisioned. Like, it just needs to happen. And now the mobile I wanted is just absolute shit. Now I'm worried about his lampshade because I ordered a lampshade from them because I hadn't seen any others like it. I thought it was really cute, and it's like stars, and it's like, I don't know. So now I'm like dreading the lampshade when it comes off back order and gets here, like hoping to God that's not broken. Like, I'll just say this, like, if the lampshade is janky, I will never even look Pottery Barn's way again. I won't. You know, people go in there and everyone's like, ooh, Pottery Barn, like, you're so fucking fancy if you shop there. Like, this is janky. Like, unacceptable. I am a grumposaurus today, so for real, I'm going to bed now, and I'll just be back tomorrow with a more positive vibe, hopefully, because hormones are in full rage today. For real now, I'm going to say bye. Okay, bye.